I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everybody. We'll do a roll call here to determine the quorum. Councilor Baumgartner. Here. Evers. Here. Ferguson.
Here.
Howard. Here. I'm here. We do have a quorum. We'll call the meeting to order here. First portion of the meeting is a public forum. This is the time where we invite the public to address council on any issues in the community. When addressing council, please provide your name for the meeting record. Speaking time will be limited to 3 minutes. If there's any unfinished business after those 3 minutes, we'll direct staff to work with you offline, or perhaps turn it into a discussion item here on the agenda. Anyway, is there anybody here from the public wishing to address council at this time? Not seeing any movement out there, so we'll close down the public forum portion of the meeting and open up the setting of the agenda. Had the agenda here for a few days with some minor adjustments on it. If there's anything from the consent agenda you want pulled out for discussion, now would be a great time to make that recommendation. Or if there's any additions, or I'll call for a meeting to approve the agenda as written. Is that the case?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve tonight's agenda. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Agenda is approved as written. We'll move down to the consent agenda. It includes regular meeting minutes from July 20, Resolution 72, authorizing the City of Olivia Municipal Liquor Store to dispense intoxicating liquor at the third 2026 Third Thursday Community Festival events. Resolution 73 is authorizing the purchase of an underground electrical wire from Wesco. Resolution 74 calling for a public hearing to consider the use of program income funds for the downtown streetscape improvement project. Resolution 75 is calling for a public hearing on the certification of delinquent utility accounts to the county auditor for collection with property taxes. Resolution 76 is calling for a public hearing for the final assessment for unpaid fire call charges for service. Resolution 77 is calling for a public hearing for the final assessment for unpaid lawn mowing fees. Resolution 78 is approving the acquisition of a permanent utility easement, and then also our July disbursements. Call for a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda. Motion's been moved by Baumgartner, seconded by Ferguson to approve the consent agenda. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, consent agenda passes as written. Moving down to discussion and business items. From representing Bold Schools is Superintendent Tim Tydlacka to give us an update on construction efforts there. Thank you very much for joining us today, Tim. We appreciate it.
Thank you, John. Appreciate the efficiency with which you run your council here. You've been around the Robert's Rules block a few times.
We loosely follow around the cat here.
That shift is my gavel. Is that from you or?
I've only had to use this once.
Oh. Was it a real humdinger?
It was a good time to take a little recess.
Yeah, okay. Awesome. Well, thank you for inviting me.
Yes, thank you for coming.
Yeah. Well, as we speak, Dunnick is laying asphalt in front of the new entrance at our school, working after hours. We have a lot going on in a lot of areas. The special ed suite and the district offices are being finished up. They'll hopefully be finished up in the next couple of weeks. The district office has moved out of the trailer into room 122. A room with currently no AC and a lot of flies. We have fly tape hanging from the ceiling.
That's so much better.
2 fly
Red and
swatters.
silver.
Yeah.
Two colors.
Yeah, so hopefully we're just there for a couple weeks. It might be a little challenging for the mail to find us, but we are there. And we sadly bid adieu to our trailers today. They pulled them out. I Nancy asked for a day of bereavement. We had a lot of good memories in those trailers. Yeah. I think our biggest triumph is hopefully well known now, and that is our gym floor. We figured out a way to replace our gym floor and pay for it with our long-term facilities maintenance funds, which won't impact our general fund or the taxpayers or anyone's money we found sitting there, which kind of makes sense because there were a lot of maintenance that wasn't being performed right. And so the good news is we had this larger fund than we thought we had, and we're able to use that. Also, we're replacing the pipes underneath the elementary classrooms that were leaking steam last year. And we'll be replacing all of the old pipes over the next 3 years, also using long-term facilities maintenance funds. We got a 10-year plan that we just submitted to MDE for approval on how to spend that money. Yeah, school is still starting on September 14th. It will be in person to assuage any nervous parents out there. Your kids will be with us if you choose, September 14th. And food service, we will have food service. But we're not 100% sure exactly what we're doing there, but right now our best options seem to be either getting a portable kitchen in a double wide trailer like you see at State Fair, or we've been talking with St. Lucia's Church too, and they've been willing to let us use their kitchen if that. We've explored other options like the armory and a few other things, but right now we're leaning heavily towards that portable kitchen. And the cafeteria we're trying to figure out where to feed the kids. And the gyms doesn't look like we'll be able to use the gyms. The one will be torn up and the other will be needed for PE and various other things, but we do have fairly large new wrestling area. So we're looking at that pretty heavily. But there's other logistics we need to fine tune, like we need to make sure, I know some parents are concerned about students having enough time to eat, but we're aware that is a concern, and it's a concern of ours too. We want to make sure that we have it set up in a way where they can get their food and eat. Get the job done without having to miss out or stuff it down.
Well, it sounds like things are rolling right along.
Yeah.
I always want to offer this out, if there's anything you can think of that our organization can do to help out during this time. Unfortunately our community center is geographically, it's not adjacent to the school by any means, but if there's anything that we can brainstorm, as far as using any of that asset for a solution for any of your needs, we want to keep those lines of communication open and just be really helpful to the district here. It's really important to organization, obviously, in our community, and we want to help it out as much as we can. Is there anything top of mind that you can think of that we might be able to assist with?
Well, I already do, we already do appreciate, we see Elizabeth a lot, Howie a lot, Blanca a lot, and I see you a lot. So I feel like I'm not gonna have to work too hard to speak with one of you, and I can feel the support. Yeah, I agree, it's a good, important partnership, the district and the city of Olivia. And I appreciate your public library
Wonderful.
and equally welcoming.
Anybody have any questions or anything for
Is
Tim?
there a clear resolution on what the tax impact will be yet? I feel that comes into our future planning.
No?
Tax impact.
Yeah, like once upon a time, we were talking about, per $100,000 of house value, you could expect to be paying X amount. Do you know those numbers?
No.
Where do we find them out?
Well, are you talking about the abatement levy or?
The additional taxes that are going towards the school to build it. I'm just,
Oh,
yeah, the whole.
for the whole
The whole thing.
referendum, yeah. I don't know. But
I can ask Heather Weiss, the county auditor, a follow-up to that question, so
Yeah,
I can see if they have some projections.
it'd be good to know
Sure.
a ballpark range.
Leading into budget season.
Yes.
Sure.
Sure, if you guys would find that information helpful, we can certainly have that for you for our budget work session.
I bet it'll come up.
You think?
Any other questions for Tim?
When is it gonna be done?
that's the $39.9 million question. We're not sure.
What are the reasons for the delay?
The main reasons for the delay have been unforeseen structural issues and problems with the plans lining up with what's actually there. And they've found a lot of unforeseen structural issues. Ever since I got here, I've been hearing, we ran into an unforeseen structural issue, here's a change order, we ran into it like just over and over like a broken record. And every time that happens, it has to go back to those structural engineers, it sits on someone's desk for a couple of weeks, maybe, I'm not really sure. But it seems to take at least 2 weeks before the plan is rewritten, and then nothing can happen unless it's in the plan.
Yeah.
So then that's a 2-week delay every time that happens, so you can imagine the overall effect of that. And that's why we really, there's other factors, of course, whether labor, orders not coming on time, things like that. But the big thing is the unforeseen structural issues and all the delays.
Well, they weren't really unforeseen, Tim, because when we did the study at the very beginning, the very first one, not when we decided on this, but the very first vote, that very first study specifically said the structure is not good. It's going to be extremely expensive to fix. You're going to end up finding more problems. That's actually what they told us in the very first study when they said they would needed a new school versus this rebuild. And that was voted no. So the structural issues we were told about right away.
Okay.
And they said there's going to be, every time you move something because of how old it is, it's going to be worse. It's going to be worse. But then, you pinch a penny here and you pay $10 over here. So,
So then that means we knew these delays were gonna happen.
Yeah,
before the
absolutely.
project
I don't,
started.
yeah, I'm just saying that because
Yeah.
I've been from the very beginning, from that first study, I've been a part of that whole thing. And that was the one thing they repeatedly told us, like, this school is too old to redo. We can't do this. This is gonna be expensive. We're gonna move one thing. We're gonna see everything that's wrong with it. We can't guarantee anything. And and it was voted no. So
Well, you
We were
were telling
aware.
the story of the reality of the situation.
it is the reality of the situation, yes, yeah. It's always easy to say, let's pinch a penny, but then at the end, you have time delays and extra expenses.
Time
So-
delays and yeah,
It's not always the best route to take.
and then, yeah, things are only budgeted through October when it was supposed to end, so. Every month after October, we were having to spend unbudgeted money on our financial oversight with Baker Tilly. And rentals and.
But we were warned, like you weren't warned, you weren't here, I want to make that clear, you weren't gonna work, but the rest of us might not remember, but we were very warned that was gonna be an issue.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Yeah, and all that information is in those packets that they had out, so I'm sure the school does have it. I remember those studies, I mean, they were very informative, they had every question anybody could have is in those packets.
Yeah. But you know, we are where we are. And we are working together to find solutions. There's no going back. If you walk into the school and look down the high school hall, you'll think about the Millennium Falcon, maybe, you know, when they were doing the repairs over there on Plant Hoth. You know, there's kind of wires and stuff like that. We got a lot of Chewbacca's running around trying to patch things up. But you know, it's kind of keeping us humble and keeping us tough. And I go to some of these brand new schools and kids, I don't know, there's kind of like this aura of entitlement almost, you know, or at least not as much humility as we have here. And to be able to see students and staff maintain their pride in the school through all this, I think that's a lot stronger and a lot harder than having to do that with a brand new school. You know, then it's like, oh yeah, check out our school, we're so proud. But our pride goes far surpasses that superficial level. So I'm proud of that. But yeah, I mean, there's frustrations, but we all know we can't turn back time and so we're playing with the hand we're dealt, and there's always positives that come from those ways.
That's all we can do. If there's anything we can do to slide you a couple, you know, aces or something under the table, let us know, whether it's you know, gym space or cafeteria space or kitchen or whatever, you know, we want, you know, and we'll be as agile as we can, okay?
Appreciate that. Especially coming from a man who's got his sleeves rolled up.
I know. Absolutely. Ready to get to work.
I had aces under those sleeves.
When you're
You can see them on this end.
okay, anything else for Tim?
No, thank you.
I really appreciate the update, Tim. Thank you for coming by.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming in.
All right.
All right, the next item here for discussion is resolution 79 is authorizing the purchase of a commercial John Deere mower and attachments from Kibble.
Yeah, so initially our public works superintendent Craig was going to be here, but unfortunately he's unable to attend. So I just wanted to bring to you all, the city's public works department is seeking authorization to purchase a new mower. It's currently using existing capital improvement plan funds, so there's no budget impact. But wanted to highlight that we're actually shifting gears. We're purchasing a smaller mower than the current unit. It goes from a 11 feet cutting width to a 6 feet. 11 feet is really big and you have a lot of different people in it, and it's not as easy to move around. And we do still have trees, despite public opinion, we do still have trees that we mow around. And so it was opted to go down to the smaller 6 feet. Also, selecting the smaller mower saves the city approximately $9,000 when compared with trying to replace the 11-foot mower on the 5-year cycle. What's also really nice about this new purchase is it includes a year-round cab, a snowblower attachment, and a broom attachment. So we're no longer just going to put a mower in a Quonset for 6 months out of the year. We're actually going to be able to use this piece of equipment all
great.
year round, which is wonderful. And so just wanted to highlight, particularly going into budget season, that our department heads are really looking closely at what equipment they're looking at. They're not just blindly saying, well, we're on a rotation, might as well re-up it. They're really looking at, do we need that same piece of equipment? Can we alter it? What works best for the city? So just wanted to highlight that. Sometimes in the consent agenda, they get kind of looked over, but wanted to highlight something that we're doing. And if you all approve, we do need a motion on the resolution. Don't ask me any mechanical questions, guys. It's not Craig.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2026-79.
I'll second.
There's been a motion made by Ferguson, seconded by Baumgartner to accept the bid from Kibble for a new lawnmower and snow blower and sweeper attachment. Is there any other discussion?
Just that I appreciate that the department heads are looking at ways to, evaluating.
Absolutely.
I was gonna say that, but coming from Mr. Baumgartner, I think it probably is twice.
This is why I wanted one of them here to do the person.
Any other discussion?
the video.
Okay, there you go. It's going viral on YouTube.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Alright,
Any opposed? All right, resolution 75 carries, and we'll move down to committee reports. First of all, we'll take reports from staff.
Sure. So coming off of a really successful Corn Capital Days week, thank you everybody for participating, for volunteering, for attending. We did have an almost 2-hour meeting today with the Corn Capital Days Committee as just an annual debrief. So looking forward to some things to tweak for next year, but overall everyone's really pleased with how everything was happening. I got to attend my first League of Minnesota Cities Improving Local Economies Policy Committee. So that just looks at what are the league's positions going to be moving forward for the next legislative season on advocating for cities. A lot of it surrounding data centers, a lot of it surrounding local control, local zoning control, things like that. So we also talk about downtown commercial developments, housing, daycare, all those things. Had a great meeting with Minda about airports, which is why Minda is here. We'll be hearing from her after the meeting. And then looking forward to park board this week. And then next week we'll have an EDA meeting, and things are progressing well with the development being proposed at the old hospital lot, as well as the solution to the Western clinic access.
Yeah, lots of appreciation to staff and those committees for tying that situation up in a prompt manner. As far as government's concerned, it's very prompt, but thank you to those folks there. Any reports from council at this time? We have been at the EDA level. We've been talking a little bit about taking a look at a study to measure the need of childcare in the region. We've been operating for the past few years under the impression that we're in a childcare desert here, and there's just been some anecdotal evidence to highlight that perhaps it's not as much of a desert maybe as what we previously thought. So we're going to keep going through this discovery process before we invest in some sort of childcare plan at the EDA level, just to make sure that it is the priority that the EDA should be focusing on, or whether there's something else that maybe those resources should be looking at. But anyway, that's the update from the EDA, kind of beyond what's going on at the former hospital site. And that's all I have for committee reports. Anything from staff? All right. Well, immediately following the meeting here, we're going to be having an airport work session, and also just a reminder, our budget work session is scheduled for September 3. With no other business on the agenda, I'll call for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Sorry.
Motion's been made by Howard and seconded by Evers to adjourn. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you, everybody. We're adjourned.
It sounds
Thanks,
like you don't need me for the airport.
We do not. So have a wonderful